It's such a social atmosphere in here today. It feels so good. I want to welcome those of you in the room. I want to welcome those of you online. We are family. We are connected. And let the socializing just continue. We had a fantastic evening last night back in the back parking lot, our Moonflower concert. And Bob, Sima, and Shannon Plummer just absolutely opened our hearts and opened our souls. So we're continuing the energy. And we're going to continue because Bob and Shannon are our guests today. They're going to basically do the whole service. We're going to turn it over to them in just a few moments. But we want to begin, as always, with a moment of prayer. So I invite you to all take a deep, deep cleansing breath with me. Those of you online, breathe with us. And on that exhale, we become completely and totally receptive to the miracle of this now moment, to the miracle of this day, to the miracle of each person, either online or in person. We feel a deep sense of oneness that unites us and connects us beyond space, beyond time. It's a beautiful spirit, and it's a spirit that we celebrate this day. It's a spirit that we allow to be alive in our hearts and our minds so profoundly that everyone who walks into this scene or is in that field there at home feels and knows that energy of oneness, that energy of love, that energy of community. We say thank you, God, for the beauty of this day outwardly and the beauty of this day inwardly. And we allow both to come together in an outward demonstration that God is here, God is now, and God is all. And for this, we are truly, truly grateful. Amen. Amen. Together we say, Amen. So we're holding on that energy, but this has also been a difficult week for the New Thought community, and we would be remiss as a community if we did not acknowledge that one of the icons of the metaphysical movement here in Atlanta has made her transition. But we are celebrating today the life of Joyce Reynolds. Joyce Reynolds, who has just touched the lives of so many people in all of our communities, is now touching lives at an angelic realm, and more people are being touched by that incredibly big personality. So Joyce, we send you forth with our blessings, our gratitude, and all the love that we have to offer. With a little round of applause for Joyce Reynolds. And I want you to keep that applause going because, as I said, Bob and Shannon are here. They're going to basically run the service, but we're going to get started with a group song. I invited them to get you all into the energy of last night with a group song, and those of you online, please sing along with it. This is Bob, Sima, and Shannon Plummer.
Good morning. Would it be too forward to ask you all to rise up? All right, let's do that. Would be even less forward maybe to have you put your hands together with us. Yeah, all right, here we go. Good words, good thoughts, good deeds. Sing it with us. Good words, good thoughts, good deeds. Good words, good thoughts, good deeds. Good words, good thoughts, good deeds. These are the things, these things we need. From the time you rise to the time you sleep, every step you take, every breath you receive, do these. Do these. Everyone you see on every street, every eye you meet, every friend you keep, do these. Do these. Do these. All right, come on, y'all. Let's get that energy up. Hands together. Good words, good thoughts, good deeds. Good words, good thoughts, good deeds.
guys so much. Good thoughts, good words, good deeds, good prayers, good being. It's all happening here at Unity North. And I want to welcome anybody who is into that energy of just being good people together. Many paths to the one God. We want to welcome anybody who's in this room or in that room for the very first time. We want you to know that whoever you are, and wherever you may be on your spiritual path, you are welcome here. But more importantly, you are welcome here. We behold you as the light of the world that you are. And when your light meets our light, something beautiful and magical happens. There's a little bit more God, there's a little bit more love, there's a little bit more peace, there's a little bit more good deeds happening as a community. You know, we say that your light is necessary here, so we thank you for bringing your light into our space, whether you be on camera or whether you be in the room. It's valuable to us, and so thank you so much for joining us. If you want to meet the minister, that would be me. I'm Reverend Richard Burdick in the room. I'll be in the office right after the service just to say hi and give you a little information about what we're all about. Just a few things about what's happening here at Unity North. I want to let you know, we mentioned the Moonflower concert, which was great and wonderful, but we have a Habitat for Humanity house that we build every year, and we're looking for volunteers. It starts on June 19th, and Chris Scare is looking for volunteers who like to swing a hammer, a paintbrush, or go work in the garden. It takes a village to build a Habitat for Humanity house. And so we're looking for volunteers. Please connect with the office and let us know you'd like to take part. I'm thrilled that this year I get to swing a hammer. They put me on a paintbrush last year, and I think word got out, don't let the minister of Unity North have a paintbrush. I want to let you know that we're beginning our journey to come back into our space. Slowly but surely, safely and methodically, we are coming home. Our official date right now is we're looking at August 1st to be back, but groups are coming back. Groups are starting to be back, and we have a brand new group that's starting. Atiba Davis is doing a Bible study that's going to start on the first week in June. From 10 o'clock to 11, those that want to dig a little bit more deeply into the Bible and its metaphysical interpretation. Atiba, you're in the room, right? Where are you? There you are. Just seeing what Atiba's going to wear is worth the price of admission to that class. I want to let you know that our wholeness ministry, those who are holding sacred wholeness for you, they're going to be coming back really soon as well. They're figuring out where it's going to be that they're going to be holding their Reiki treatments for each of you. But stay tuned because we're getting very close to they're eager to get back into the room and to be of service to you and your well-being and your health. Let's see, Al's singles group is going to be moving in June to Sunday morning at 10 o'clock as well. They've been meeting on Monday nights. They're going to be back into the service downstairs at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning, starting the first week in June. I want to let you know that leaders, we're having a leadership meeting. We're figuring out how we're going to enter into the new normal, the new way of being Unity North, and we want to do it at a higher level of excellence. And so we're inviting all the leaders in our community to a meeting on the 22nd of June. If you're interested and you've stepped up in a leadership capacity here at Unity North, you are welcome to come to that meeting and see how we're going to do business, not as usual, but business at the next level. Right now, I want to invite all of you to stand up and turn and face that camera. There's a camera right back there. And it may feel like we are separate from all those hundreds of people that are watching. Share a little love with everybody who is watching online right now. Make a little noise for them. Woo-hoo. Oh, come on, Unity North. I said make a lot of noise. Woo! All right. We love you. We appreciate you. And we are so glad that you are with us online watching. We're figuring out how to do community with people in California, people in Florida, people in New York and Chicago, and people right in the room. I don't know two people who can do that better than the two people who I'm going to turn this service over to right now. They work magic. They know how to create community. They know how to move energy. And their songs are, as far as I'm concerned, the best songs on the planet. Everybody should get their albums and go home with a collection of the music of Bob Sima and Shannon Plummer. It's all yours.
Well, Reverend Richard, I tell you how you create community with people in Florida. You invite them here. That's exactly where we came from. For those of you that knew us previously, we used to live in Maryland, and we now live in Florida. So a little bit closer and much easier to get to all of you and share in your big, beautiful hearts. So, good morning. Good morning. It is so awesome. This always feels like a home away from home for us. Always feeling so welcome, always feeling so loved. So thank you for welcoming us once again, for all your smiling faces, for your hugs. It's so beautiful to be here with you. And I'm going to invite you just for a moment to close your eyes and listen to this word. Bewilderment. Bewilderment. How does that feel in your body? What does that conjure up in you? Does anyone feel awesome with the word bewilderment? Does anyone feel uncomfortable, uneasy? Settle that in, and I invite you to open your eyes. And I want to hear from just a couple people who has something to say about that experience. What came up for you with the word bewilderment? Anybody? Anybody? Excited. Okay. Anybody else? Oh, you are awesome. One more. Anybody else want to share? Overwhelmed. Go ahead. Wondering. Beautiful. So, the word bewilderment goes back to the 1680s, and it has come to mean confuse as to direction or situation, perplex, puzzle, and confusion. It's not very juicy, right? It's not very... So, if you actually break down the word, be means thoroughly. Wilder means to lure into the wilderness. And ment is a result or an act or process, a state or condition. So if you take that direct translation of bewilderment, it becomes the result or condition of thoroughly being lured into the wilds. Little chuckles across the room. That's very different than what we've come to understand bewilderment to be for us. So for today, I'm going to invite all of us to pronounce bewilderment with a little bit different emphasis. Today, it's all about be wilder meant. So we want to break down that language barrier and the paradigm so that we shift from confusion into the vast, uncharted, uncultivated territory of places that humans do not inhabit. The wild. Allow yourself to dive into pure divine potential, pure divine possibility, pure divine consciousness, without inhibition and without hesitancy. We're all safe here. So we want to allow ourselves to be lured into the wilds here together. I got one taker. One? Is there any more? We want to go into the wilds of the unseen, yet that ever-present energy of the all that is. Call it God, call it source, call it universal energy, call it whatever you want, it doesn't care. The all that is. So, I'm going to take a wild guess and say that when you hear the word bewilderment, it has a whole different feeling in your body than we previously felt. And I'm not even going to repeat that word again. Because today it's all about bewilderment. I'm going to share a poem that I wrote, and I originally titled it Woman Wild, because I was in a group of women in a creative writing workshop with a group of women. So today, I myself am stretching and even calling it being wild. If you really knew me, you would not try to name me. If you really knew me, you would feel my words. If you really knew me, you would hear my body. If you really knew me, you would taste my desires. If you really knew me, you would celebrate my flavors. If you really knew me, you would smell my mistakes. If you really knew me, you would challenge my grace. If you really knew me, you would shatter my reflections. If you really knew me, you would see my heart. If you really knew me, you would try not to name me. Because when you do, you take away my magic. When you do, you tame my wild.
What's the eye behind the eye? And who's the me behind the eye through which I see? Am I the watcher, or is there something else that's wanting to be seen through me? See, I've accumulated all these things. They're artifacts, possessions, and names. They try to tell the tale of me, but I am holding on to thinking there's a little bit more to the story. Well, I know I'm not the name you say, the things I own, the roles I play. I know there's something breathing me. And if you take away my name and you take away these things, you're left with only awesomeness, the essence that I came here with, the everything, the I am. The I am. Here I stand, my convictions are strong and clear, but I admit to listening to these whispers in my ear. You might call me crazy, but you know you do it too. 'Cause you know that there's a voice behind the voice in you. Well, I know I'm not the name you say, the things I own, the characters I play. I know there's something breathing me. If you take away these stories and you take away these things, you're left with only awesomeness, the essence that I came here with, the everything, the I am, the I am. Well, I know I'm not the moon that my fingers pointing to, and I know that I'm not separate from any one of you. It's an elementary game, an energy exchange. It's a rage in a river, life's grand giver of everything. That I am, life's expression, soul-bound connection, pure reflection of all that is divine. I am the muse, and I am imbued with a golden hue of light. just like you. Well, I am love, it's what I'm of. I am above, I am below, this much I know. And it's weaving in you, breathing in me, this ever-present everything I am. Yeah, come on. And it's weaving in you, breathing in me, this ever-present everything I am. And I am, you are, we be. I am, you are, we be. Could you sing it with us? I am, you are, we be. Could you sing it to someone around you? I am, you are, we be. Come on, you look 'em right in the eye and sing it to 'em. I am, you are, we be. Come on, let's keep it going. I am, you are, we be. Let's sing it to the live streamers. Let's look back at the cameras. I am, you are, we be. I am, you are, we be. Thank you.
When you try to name me, you take away my magic, you tame my wild. So, brilliant songwriter, prolific lyricist over here. Some of those phrases in that song represent bewilderment. What's the I behind the I am? Who's the me behind the I through which I see? I know there is something breathing me, bewilderment. The essence that I came here with, bewilderment. You know that there's a voice behind the voice in you, bewilderment. Soul-bound connection. I am above, I am below. This much I know. Bewilderment. I'm every when. No beginning, no end. Bewilderment. There's a Rumi translation that I think is one of Bob's favorites, actually. It says, sell your cleverness and buy bewilderment. Cleverness is mere opinion. Bewilderment is intuition. So let me state that again with our new word. Sell your cleverness and buy bewilderment. Cleverness is mere opinion. Bewilderment is intuition. Sell your cleverness. What was Rumi trying to get us to open up to? Sell off all the things that you think you know. Sell off all the things your physical eyes tell you is true. Sell off all the things you thought you heard. Chuckles, I know, it's so funny, right? Because we all hear differently. Sell off all the things someone else told you. That one's big, right? Sell off all the things you assumed and judged. Sell off all the things that contribute to the stories you believe. Sell off attachments to and expectations of people, places, and things. Sell off all opinions. So, what are we left with after we sell off all of those things that we might hold a little too closely near and dear to us? We buy bewilderment. We buy our connection to truth that was here before the words. We buy into the void where creativity is birthed. We buy into the depth of internal understanding. We buy into presence. We buy into our influence of being. We buy into the unifying thread of all living things. All living things. We buy into experiences without attachment. We buy into our intuition. So, with that trade agreement in consideration, I want to invite us into a meditation. However that feels comfortable to you, however your body feels comfortable, simply receiving that breath of life, that spirit filling your physical body and animating every cell of your being. What a gift the breath is. And allow yourself to be lured into the wilds, lured into the wilderness of your understanding, lured into your place of creativity, of receptivity, of contemplation. And give permission to whatever words, whatever imagery, whatever colors and shapes and animals, whatever plants want to come visit you. Maybe it's the beautiful moonflower that we saw open last night. Allow the imagery to come in, to allow those wilds to speak to you. Allow them to create an image, a puzzle, a message just for you. Allow a journey of remembrance. And as you listen to the lyrics of this song, I invite you to go deeper and deeper into that contemplative space, deeper and deeper into the wilds, and allow the messages to speak volumes.
No one is looking. I swallow deserts, clouds, and I chew on mountains, 'cause I know they are sweet bones. No one is looking. I sip from the cool summer sky, and I'll savor the blue of it. It colors my eyes. No one is looking. I wanna kiss God when no one is looking. I wanna kiss God. So I lift up my own hand to my mouth. No one is looking. I call forth the thunder and the rain, and I lasso the sunshine, and it warms the blood in my veins. No one is looking. I talk with the flowers and the trees, and I tell them my secrets, and they listen to me. When no one is looking at me, what is looking through me can't see, and I feel everything, everything it feels me when I'm all alone in my own sweet home. I can hear the silence calling me home. No one is looking. I blow off the dust from the Milky Way, and I polish off the stars. And the dust on my fingers is my own. No one is looking. Yeah, I paint smiles on faces with frowns, and I swipe a little lift from a joyful child who's holding my hand. No one is looking. I breathe in with you, and I feel sweet relief, and I hold the mystery closer than I hold my belief. When no one is looking, I wanna kiss God. When no one is looking, I wanna kiss God. So I lift up my own hand to my mouth. And I lift up my own hand to my mouth. And I hold the mystery closer than I hold my belief.
So as we still sit in the mystery, as we still sit in the wilds, show appreciation, show a gesture in your mind's eye, in your heart. Show a gesture of reverence, of grace, of gratitude, of thanks for whatever messages, whatever imagery came to you today. Honor that unseen with the physical eyes. Honor the seen with the heart, with the mind's eye. And remember, we can always return to the wild. We can always return to that place where no person inhabits, but all consciousness resides. And with that, I invite you to receive a breath. Allow yourself to exhale and find your way back into the physical room or the physical Zoom that we all find ourselves in this moment. So, a little insight into that beginning of what inspired that song for Bob. was a translation from Hafiz. Obviously, he picks from the best. We've got Rumi and Hafiz today. I mean, what more could you ask for? When no one is looking, I swallow deserts and clouds and chew on mountains, knowing they are sweet bones. When no one is looking, I want to kiss God. I just lift my own hand to my mouth. And that's all he needed to come up with all of that imagery that you just swam in those wilds. I believe both Rumi and Hafiz were inviting us to question how we observe, collect information, and create our mental constructs. There are 4 vision centers that help us define our reality or create that mental perception that offers us our life perspective. And we naturally flow between those vision centers depending on what we feel is best in any given situation. So the obvious way is with our physical eyes, the literal viewpoint. The physical eyes focus 99% on material objects. We then process the experience through language as our instinct drives us to create physical solutions of our physical understanding. And then we assimilate the experience in our physical body. So, physical eyes. The second viewpoint is through our thoughts, ideas, and emotions. And that activates the mind's eye. And when our reality is founded within our thoughts and emotions, we have the ability to create a full spectrum of dualities where curiosity and intimacy live. Intimacy, into me, see. Intimacy. Thoughts, ideas, emotions, intimacy. Our thoughts, ideas, and emotions teach us to transcend our fears. That's a good thing. Then we are able to study our own life and observe others' lives as a finite human. The third viewpoint accesses the third eye. And this is where myth rules the realm of the soul. We're able to tap into creativity. We're able to access our wildest dreams and all of those spectacular visualizations. Imagery and metaphor create a personal journey for our perpetual healing so we can improve our ability to communicate our thoughts, our ideas, and our emotions in physical form. So we begin to build and see how they support each other. We then begin to question life beyond the physical plane. When we can see in metaphor and we can see in imagery. The final viewpoint is all spirit. It's from that I am consciousness that Bob so eloquently spoke about earlier, sang about earlier, spoke. The language of music. The eye within the eye connects us to the pure and most often physically unseen energies that tap into the universal picture of understanding. When we rely 99% on the spiritual body and remove our material existence from the equation, we become devoted to the expansion of consciousness. How many of us want to be devoted to expanded consciousness? Amen. Right? Indeed. That's where we emerge, knowing the limitlessness and unending life that we are. So, notice when we move from the physical perception to our thoughts, ideas, and emotions, to the realm of myth and mysticism, into that spiritual viewpoint, we go deeper and deeper into the wilds. We go deeper and deeper into bewilderment. When we allow ourselves to take an inward journey, we have the power to move mountains. We have the capability to do all this and more. We've heard that before. There are no limits, because as soon as we feel we may have reached an end, we have the ability to move beyond it simply by changing our beliefs, simply by moving into a different viewpoint, a different perception, going deeper. A limit is simply the all of what we can conceive today. But tomorrow's mystery has the potential to push us even further beyond our wildest dreams, which is why our beliefs change as we move through life. If our beliefs are the same today as they were 25 years ago, we didn't live the last 25 years. We learn to hold the mystery closer than our beliefs. I want to share a beautiful ride. I've already got goosebumps and I didn't even start it yet because I know what's coming. Glenn Thomas Rideout is the director of worship and music for the First Unitarian Universalist Congregation in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And I was introduced to this writing called God is No Noun. God is no noun. And the entire writing, if you can imagine the words in front of you, there are no capital letters in any of this writing. God is no noun. So I want to share this with you in the hopes that it will help you continue that exploration of the wilds. God is no noun, and certainly not an adjective. God is at least a verb, and even that shrinks her. God is not so much a woman as she resides in the improbable hope of brown mothers. God is not so much a man as he is at work in the memory of my grandfather's laugh. God is not trans. God swims in the tears of the one who sees her real self at long last in the bathroom mirror. God is not black, neither is he white. God is waiting in the contradiction of songs from slave shacks. And I have seen God in the alabaster smiles of children at play. We're getting Michelangelo all wrong. God is not the bearded one surrounded by angels floating over the Sistine. He is not Adam with his muscled back pressing the earth. No. God is the closing inch of space between their reaching fingers. Don't believe for a moment that God is Catholic. For God's sake, he isn't even human. Have you heard the wood thrush when the sun glistens the Huron? Can you see the flowers, how they speak to bees without a word? Still, God is no spring blossom, no wood thrush. God is neither the sun nor the bee. God is what you see in the blossom. God is when you hear the river and suddenly discover how much of it is part of you. To be clear, God is not you. God is somewhere in the 14 billion years which have come to mean that you are. God is, after all, at least a verb. She is neither Pharaoh's rod nor Moses' staff. We must be the ones to cease our slavery. She is not interested in blame, neither does she offer praise. Truth, gratitude are ours to breathe. She will not have your answers. She is too large for answers. She dances too wildly to be fastened to them, and answers are nouns anyway. God is at least a verb, twirling in the radiant reds of spring blossoms, singing in the rare silences between rapid opinions, attending the tears of dark-skinned deaths, learning in tiny alabaster smiles. God is waiting in the space between fingers that might connect. He is waiting for us to stop naming her. She is waiting for us to see all of him. God is waiting to be unshrunk. God is waiting to be unshrunk. We have got we have got to go into the wilds to know God. Unshrink our beliefs, unshrink our opinions, unshrink our judgments, unshrink our expectations, and find it where we least expect. God is waiting to be unshrunk. God is waiting to be lured into the wilderness with and as us. It takes all to believe in a vision that may not appear to be a reality today in front of our physical eyes. But we would not even be able to see a remote vision if it did not already or could not possibly exist. So, I invite all of us to remove the shrink wrap. Why are we using plastic anyway? See beyond the sight of the physical world and bring the love, the fulfillment, and peace from the spiritual stardust of your soul directly into your wilderness. Become wild. Become love.
Yeah, I get chills whenever she reads that. And it's interesting because I think that's the poetic version of this song that I wrote before I knew about that poem. And so I might be a little bit like Neil Donald Walsh. I get voices in my head, and they come in through songs. They come in as songs. And this one came in directly from God, I guess. Again, it told me not to use that word. It literally, this song was supposed to be called Put a Little More God in the World, and I was edited out by God. God said, do not put that word in that song. God said, put the word love. Because that doesn't trigger anybody. It's the bluest of the sea, the whisper through the trees, the serenade that drops to your knees. It's the sparkle of the smile, the honesty in the eye, the bravest bloom reaching for the winter's sky. It's the racing of your heart, the sage behind the smart, the home inside the house you were born. It's in the things we can't explain, things perceived but never seen. Everywhere, everything in between. It's taming the monsters under your bed, fighting the wolves up in your head. It's the strange things you do when you are led. there's no place that it's not, and there's no time that it stops. There's a reason it takes your breath away, and the message is clear. It's the reason why we're here to put a little more love in the world. If you're the only one to believe, then stand up and set it free. Come on, stand on up with us. Put a little more love in the world. If you're standing brave and strong, or just barely hanging on, put a little more love in the world. Come on, hands together with us. Come on, let's sing it out loud. Put a little more, 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 put a little more love in the world. Come on, sing it really loud with us. Come on, put a little more, 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 put a little more love in the world. Thank you. Shannon Plummer.
Please remain standing. Two people that are putting a lot more love, a lot more joy, a lot more God into the world. Thank you for the gifts that you are to this world. Thank you for the gifts that you are to this community. We offer you this blessing as a congregation and as your family, your brothers, your sisters, and people who believe completely in the mission of everything you're doing to make this world a better place. Bob and Shannon, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ as each of you. And together we say, we love you, we really, really love you. Mwah! One more round of applause for these two beautiful souls. And I hope that this had value to you here in the room. I hope it had value to you online. And if it did, I'm going to invite you to express generosity, to say thank you. You know, we reached out and we said we would give them a little bit of money to bless their ministry and to get them to come back. And so this is the way you can say thank you to Bob and to Shannon, to Unity North, and the great programs that we are constantly leading here in this community, bringing some of the best singers, the best speakers, the best ideas that this world needs right now. If you'd like to say thank you, there's lots of ways you can do that. You can mail a check in. The offices are now open. We're starting to bring the staff back here on a regular basis. Come on by, drop a check, and let us know the difference that we are making in your world and in the world beyond. You can text to give. It's the easiest way. If I can do it, anybody can do it. You just 73256. It takes all of 10 seconds to say, I'm in. I'm in with my community. I'm in with my family. I believe in what's happening here in Marietta, Georgia, and I want to be a part of it. Special challenge to those of you who are watching online. You know, in order to bring you these messages and these programs that we bring you all the time, it has an expense, and we're about to upgrade that, and I'm going to invite you to make an investment in our cameras, to make an investment in our sound. And I want to give thanks to all the people that are behind the scenes, that are up in the booth with making that happen. The sound, nobody ever says anything about it, but they're doing a great job. We're doing our best to bring the very best message to you, but just be generous. Be generous and put a little love through your generosity, through your financial contributions. But right now, whatever way you choose to give, and those of you in the room, there's a couple of baskets in the back of the room. That's the way you're going to give. We're not passing baskets yet. We may not go back to that. If you just express generosity, we can let go of passing baskets and look like a 21st century church perhaps, huh? Right now, let's just sing that Karen Drucker's song, I Am So Blessed, and realize how blessed we are as human beings at this time, on this planet, in this room, and in this moment. I am so blessed. I am so so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am. One more time for the subconscious mind. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. And I think you're really blessed because I want Bob and Shannon to do one more song to sing us out into the world. You know, I always like to say that what we have done in this room today stays in this room. It's been a wonderful entertainment. But what we have done in this room, if it goes out these doors, and there's a little more love in the planet as a result of you being here today, it's the most valuable hour and 15 minutes you could have spent. Don't waste the gift. Bob and Shannon, take us out of here.
It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's another day under the same sun. It's another day to lean in and claim some. It's another day to be bold, brave, and unafraid. It's another chance to change direction. Move the arrow, a course correction. Be an instrument, be the change and move out of the way. So if your glass is half empty, then fill it. If it's overflowing, then spill it. Open the mouths that thirst and the souls that hurt. Spill it, spill it, spill it, 'cause we need your heart. We need it open wide. We need you brilliantly beaming, glowing to know the goodness from inside. We need your beautiful smile, and we need it right now. 'Cause you're the light of the world, the light of this world, and it's time you figured it out. It's time, it's time. It's time. It's time, it's time, it's time. Yeah, you're the answer, it's perfect timing. There ain't no use in hiding this blinding, shining diamond you've been disguising. You're the universe in a static motion. You're the elixir, the magic potion for a world that cries for what's behind your eyes. So if your glass is half empty, then fill it. If it's overflowing, then spill it. Open the mouths that thirst and the souls that hurt. Spill it, spill it, spill it, 'cause it needs your heart. We need it open wide. We need you brilliantly beaming, glowing to know the goodness from inside. We need your beautiful smile. Come on, smile. And we need it right now. 'Cause you're the light of the world, the light of this world. It's time you figured it out. It's time, it's time. It's time. It's time, it's time, it's time, it's time, it's time to be true, to be the beautiful you, to let your soul smile through your eyes. Because you're one little light can light 10,000 more. Together we will, together we will. It's time. Come on, sing it. It's time. It's time, it's time, it's time. It's time. It's time. It's time, it's time, it's time, it's time, it's time.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Go be the change you want to see in the world. Go be the light of the world. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you Wednesday night for meditation. Michael Burke and I will be back. Go on out there and buy some CDs. Thanks for joining us. Have a beautiful evening.